Dr. Marcus Belin, amazing leader from the Illinois area. So honored he's part of this book as well. Being an authentic leader means leading with honest, sincere intentions while maintaining a high level of integrity. This quote stuck out to me. Really being who you are, right? Being who you are. I was listening to some podcast today. I can't remember, but it really stuck to me is that the person that I listen to on the podcast is the same person when they're not on the podcast. One of the best compliments that I've ever received is that, hey, like, you're kind of just the same guy no matter what. I'm like, yeah, I am. And that to me is an important thing. I don't want to like have a persona, pretend I'm something I'm not. You know, and I say things that maybe kind of push people, and that's kind of the challenge. That's how I think. That's how I want to share. And one of the things that I notice is that if people are being honest about what they're trying to do, they don't stutter. They just tell you straight up what it is. They go clearly. But when they're like kind of like working through it, they're not totally being authentic. We need this more in education. People saying like, hey, this is what it is. Here's the reality. Here's the issue. But there's a lot of like, we're worried about offending someone being bothered. And I think that if we're really trying to make things happen, then we have to be honest with what's happening. I'll give you an example of my own principalship, what I'm talking about. I used to tell my staff that, hey, if I actually ask you for input or advice on something, I am honestly listening to it. And I might change the direction based on what you're asking. And I remember one in particular moment, I was so against what my staff was saying. Like I had such a different vision. But, and I like said to them, I like do not agree with you. But then I actually went their direction. And my assistant principal at the time said, that I know that was hard for you, but you did the right thing. And so even because it was like the overwhelming consensus, and I said, like, I can't like say to you, I want your feedback. And then 99% of you disagree with me, but I said, I'm still going my way. And that was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard. And they knew it. And I was honest. I'm like, I don't agree, but I'm listening to you. I asked for your feedback. You haven't changed your minds after I presented my viewpoint. So we'll continue on this way. And I think that's okay. But the other thing too, is I used to say to my staff, if I actually present something to you and I tell you, it doesn't matter what your feedback is, I'm telling you that because I don't want to waste your time. This is something the superintendent's making me do. This is something that's happening down from a school, district level, or provincial level, state level, whatever. So you can complain about what you want. You can push back. You can challenge me. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter because this is what's happening because that's what it is. And I did that because I wanted people to, like, I didn't want to play this game that I pretended that their feedback would matter in that moment. They had all the opportunity to vent, and I was okay with that. But I never wanted them to think that what they were going to say could change anything in the direction. And that to me is the most valuable thing we have in the world is time. I don't want to waste your time by pretending something could happen when it can't. So that, and again, you know, that could bother some people, but I didn't want to I think it would bother me more if you pretended that my feedback mattered when you couldn't change anything. If you ask me for it and then you can't do anything different because of what I say to you, even if it's a good point, don't waste my time. Just tell me what it is. You're the boss. I get it. Okay. So that to me is like that high level of integrity is, you know, it really is about like being honest, being right up in the front. Sometimes when I go into a new organization, they kind of like, sometimes they'll say like, we kind of got this thing, you know, and they won't tell me. I'm like, just tell me what's going on. Give me a clear view. I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to look down on anybody. But if I don't know the problem, I can't really help you. If you're kind of like around the problem and I have to like figure it out along the way, just tell me straight up, because then I'm here to serve you. So tell me, I'm not going to be bothered by it at all, because sometimes, you know, sometimes the best path is a straight line.